Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And I'm going to demonstrate how to make these little things right here. What it is it starts out at a circle and it winds up like this. Now this is a little diffuser bottle. It's got scented oil in it, and I just made something really simple and so you can still see the sticks. This is one where I had a glass jar, and this works best on jars or vases that come in narrow up at the top. And this one has bias tape on the edges, and this one just has pinking shears that give it that jagged edge. Okay, let's get started. First step is to measure the container. Decide how far up you want your fabric to go. Now, because this comes in real narrow here, I want the fabric to cover this part. So I'm actually going to add another 1.5 inches to the height up here. So you would take your tape measure and you would measure up that height, put the tape measure under the bottle, measure across the bottom of the bottle, and then back up to this side here. And that'll be the size of your circle. You're going to cut a square out that size, but I would add just a little bit more, maybe another 1/2 inch or so, just in case you don't get your fabric folded very well. So now you want to fold the fabric in half, and I kind of try to put a little crease in it a little bit. I wouldn't iron it, but just enough so that the fabric will stay in place. And then fold it in half again and press it a little bit. Make sure your edges are together. Now, whatever measurement yours was, you need to cut that measurement in half. And then let's say it was 15 inches. So that's going to be about 7.5 inches. So I'm putting the 7.5 inch line on this corner up here, and then place a mark. Then move it again, leaving that 7.5 inch mark right on the corner, and put another mark. And you would continue doing that all the way around till you get up over to this edge. Now the next step is to cut on that drawn line, but I recommend that you put few pins here to hold the fabric in place. I've even got one out here so that your fabric doesn't shift while you're cutting. Now you can either use scissors or a rotary cutter, and I'm going to use a rotary cutter, so all you need to do is just draw, or cut I should say, right on those drawn lines. And then when you're done, just unfold it and you have a circle. If you don't want to sew, do any type of sewing, any decorative trim on the edge, if you have pinking shears, that'll give a nice little jagged edge to it. So if you don't have pinking shears, you can buy them in fabric stores. Also, another place I got mine was on Amazon.com. You can go to Etsy. A lot of places carry pinking shears. And to give that little jagged edge, just go along and begin trimming the edges off. So here's one that I've already done that has the edges trimmed off. So here's the front of my fabric, also called right side. I also call it the pretty side. You want to put that facing down, and you're going to draw some lines on the back side of your fabric. So you want to go in a certain number of inches to draw this line, and this will be the line where you gather the fabric up. So on that little container, I would only go in about 1.5 inches. If it's a larger container, you want to go in to at least 2 inches. So you want to put that number, 1.5 or 2 inches, put that right up here on the edge from your ruler, and then draw a line. And just keep moving it around and continue drawing this little dash line all the way around. For this next step, I wanted to use a really strong thread, and this is carpet thread. You can get it at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. I've had this little spool of carpet thread for probably over 40 years. It lasts forever. I don't use it very often, but when I do use it, it's really great. And because it's so strong, I don't have to worry about it breaking in the next step afterwards. So you want to take a long piece of thread, tie a knot at one end of the thread, and then coming from the front of the fabric, start. And I'm coming up on one of the dash lines right here because you want that knot on the front side of your fabric. Let me move this out of the way. You're coming up through. Then you're just going to do a large basting stitch, at least a 1/2 inch apart. If you do it too close together, you're not going to be able to gather. It'll just get stuck. So make sure that you do a large basting stitch. So continue going all the way around. I've just completed the basting stitch going all the way around. Now your last stitch, make sure that your needle winds up out on the front side near where you started and just pull it through because you want both ends of the thread coming together. Now insert your container and try to center the fabric as much as possible so it's even on both sides. And then you're going to gather it up and then you're going to tie a surgeon's knot. So to do the surgeon's knot, you're going to bring the thread and loop it around once and twice and then pull real tight. And then repeat that process. And then cut the ends of the threads off. Then begin to evenly spread the ruffles out, arranging them. If you want, you can take ribbon to cover up the thread, or you can even tie raffia around it. This one has bias tape on it, 1/2 inch wide. So let me show you how easy it is to put the bias tape on. Bias tape comes in several different widths. This is 1/4 inch. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend using the 1/4 inch. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's a little trickier to put on. The 1/2 inch wide is easier. So what it is it's a strip of fabric that is folded many times, okay? So you can see it's the raw edges are folded inward and then it's folded again. If you look at it really close, you will notice that the edges don't come completely together. And that's important that they do not, so don't try to do that. You want one edge shorter than the other. So the shortest edge is the edge that goes on the pretty side of your fabric. So then you would take your raw edge and put it in towards the center and fold this over. And then you would stitch right on this edge here. And because you're going on a curve, you would stitch a little bit, stop, adjust, open the tape up, insert the edge in, because you can't just pin it around. So I would not try to pin. Just gradually feed it in, stitching all the way around. Now I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions on how to bring the ends of your bias tape together. On the previous demonstration, I was showing you 1/4 inch wide bias tape. This is 1/2 inch, but you can attach the ends the same way. So what you would do is open up the bias tape, bring the two ends together, and then stitch about 1/4 inch along here. And then fold this back up. First, finger press your seam open, then fold it back up and finish stitching it down. Another way of doing it is, I call it my lazy way, which I do sometimes, is I will start out by having the entire end here stitched down, just like you stitched all of this. Then I will fold this end over, fold the bias tape back like it comes in your package, and then overlap these, bring it inside like this. I know it looks a little sloppy, but once you get it pinned down, it'll look good. And then finish stitching across. So wasn't this process really easy? These are so much fun. They're so fast to make that I've done them even on some larger vases because I just love the look. Now, there will be links to other sewing tutorials that I hope that you will be interested in. Those links are below your YouTube screen in the description section. Just scroll down till you see the word more. Click on that and that section will expand open and you will see a variety of links appearing. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.